A long day. It has been a good day with some good information. On handout right now. Amen. I was supposed to have a cohort with me, but they're out doing spring break. So here I am. But I too want to be very practical. I have pastored ownership for almost 17 years, but prior to pastoring, I was a hospital chaplain, clinical pastoral education. So a lot of my experience that I bring to the church is just that. One of the things that I think is so very important when we talk about evangelism is that many of us say we don't know how to do it. We're scared to do it. We don't know how to open our mouths and do it. And I'll be honest, I'm one of those. If I can keep to myself, we're good. But I know, Brian Thompson talks about going into a neighborhood and finding out what's going on and talking in restaurants and all of that. That takes a very bold person to do it. But I want to share something with you very practical today that will allow you to open your mouth and share the good news. Well, how many of us always say God's been good to us? That if it had not been for the Lord on my side, where would I be? We talk about how good God is. And if God has been that good to us, then shouldn't we want to always share? Amen? Amen. If you found the secret to winning $1 million, would you go and tell somebody, hey, this is how you win $1 million? Would y'all be that selfish when we talk about share? You would share. Amen. And so what I'm going to share with you today is about your story. I say that your story, when I used to teach pastoral and counseling, that your story, no matter if you're clergy or lay, your story is the greatest asset that you have. It's the greatest asset that you have. Let me tell you how important stories are. What do we do for children when they get ready to go to bed at night? We read them a bedtime story because it does what? It soothes them and they fall asleep. Children's books, because children learn best experientially when you tell them a story. They connect the characters and the timeline of the story and they remember it. But then you get older and you start reading novels. We're not going to talk about what kind of novels, but we read novels which is just what? It's a big old story. And we remember it because of the characters and the storyline. A good movie, we say it's good if it has a good storyline that does what? That draws us. But if it was all over the place, we'll come back home and say, I'm going to see that. That was a waste of time. I don't know where it was going. But a good movie has a good storyline. African American history. We are oral people. Many of our stories have been told through the generations. That's what happens at family reunions. We tell our story. We can't wait to get to Big Mama and Grandmama to hear the story. And especially when you're young, you want to hear your grandparents talk about what your parents were like as children. We can't wait to hear that. And some of the same stuff they wasn't at us about, Grandma and Granddaddy said they did the same thing. Story. Alcoholics Anonymous. And stand up and you go, my name is, and they do what? They start to tell their story. Because story is what? It's powerful. It's important. Many of us have a story of our callings. Those of us who were calling to ministry, whether it's clergy or laity, you have a story about how God did it and how you answered. That becomes a very powerful story. And every now and then you need to go back to that so that you are reminded what God said to you, so that you're reminded that quitting is not an option. Stories and sermons. How many of you preachers tell stories in sermons? I don't always tell stories, but stories make it real. They bring it home. Amen? Jesus used stories. They were called parables. He used stories to connect with people, to talk to them on their level, in their language, so that they could get the spiritual principle that he was trying to teach. Because we can't get too deep with folk. Keep it simple. Amen? The main uses of our stories lets us know that the storytelling of our stories is important. Your greatest asset is your story. Let me tell you why stories are so powerful. Because it talks about, it deals with, it comes from our soul. Our soul is that human part of us. Our soul is our will. Our soul is what connects us to other human beings. It's the human part of who we are. Now, sometimes if you're all deep, you can go into a room and you can feel something about somebody and you can get a feeling that's your spirit. But it's your soul, the stories, your life experiences that connect you and make you relevant. Amen? Every now and then, you ought to review your story. I wasn't forced to do this until I went to seminary. Because they tell you ought to review your story, because you ought to use your story to help somebody else. Many of us don't look back. We keep it going. Then we get to be 60 and 70 years old and near the end of life. I'm not saying that y'all are 60 and 70, y'all are near the end of life. I'm just saying, when you get closer to the end of life, you have regrets because you just live day by day. You never look back over your story. Amen. Some people are in touch with their life stories and have learned how to celebrate. But here's the hard part. Other people are not in touch with their stories and they try to hide their story. Sometimes because of traumatic events, we don't want to remember. It hurts too much. Sometimes because of shame and guilt. It hurts too much. But reviewing your story is healthy, reflecting periodically. I also am a chaplain for hospice. One of the things that we do is we get people, when they're ready, to talk about their life stories. It's an end-of-life review. Because we know that many of them are not going to recover, and so we take a look at their stories so that they can celebrate what they've done in their lives. But also, some folk got issues, and they need to forgive before they close their eyes and take their last breath. And then some people need closure. Bishop was talking about it, I think, yesterday, last night, when we were talking about forgiveness, and he parenthetically asked, hypothetically, how can you forgive somebody that's dead? Oh, that's between you and God. You can't do that. But why wait till somebody dies? Why wait till you're on your deathbed to forgive? Because guess what? You hear me say every day at noon or it's 5 a.m., forgiveness doesn't let the people off the hook. It frees you so that you might live the rest of your life as God would have you live. Amen? Healing. Before you can tell your story, you must acknowledge your story. good, bad, and ugly. And it's amazing to me how all the workshops have just been flowing right into each other. Bonnie McKenzie talked about it today. Let's just get real. You're going to evangelize, you need to know your story. You need to be able to have courage enough to share your story. Your story might be the very thing that saves somebody's life. Your story. You don't have to be all deep and have 3 points, an introduction and a closing. Just tell your story. People want to connect. A lot of drug addicts who are trying to get clean, they don't want to hear from anybody who's never been on drugs because you don't understand what they're going through. But another drug addict, another alcoholic, they can relate, they can tell them the struggles, they can tell them how to get well. They keep it real. Sharing your story also heals others. In clinical pastoral education, we are taught to use our stories. But if the conversation is more about you, then that's not good because it's not about you, it's about listening to the other person. But how many of y'all know you can share your story without telling your story? Because what you want to do is you want to get into the feelings associated with your story. Sometimes when we are in conversation with people, there are things about our lives that come up, isn't that right? And you may not always break in and say, well, you know what happened to me, no. But you can take what you felt, you can take what you went through, you can take what you experienced and say, listen, I don't know what you're going through. But I empathize with you because I've been in a similar position. Somebody who says that will have a listening ear. Because if you can even imagine the hell that I've been through, then I don't have a problem sharing with you so that I can get out of this hell I'm going through. It's about sharing our story. It's about connectivity. Sharing our story connects us to other people. It's so funny when mothers get together. What do we talk about? Our children. We talk about our children. And by the time we finish sharing our stories, we realize that our children are not the only children that are crazy. Who said yesterday or today that our children are not the only children not going to church as a pastor? Some other folks' children not going to church either. I don't know what men talk about when they get together, but it's connected. It's about bonding. One of the things that I love, I like watching America's Got Talent. Don't watch American Idol too much, but I love The Voice. And the thing that connects you to those shows is when they tell the story of the person who's about to sing. And there was one young man who was on The Voice from Alabama, and I knew him. I didn't know his story, but when they shared his story, it immediately connected me to him. And what does that do? That in the end, if he makes it to the final round, I'm down to those numbers because I connected to his story. It's like a monster, but it's working. There was a young lady who was on American Idol who was blind. It was not born into blindness, but something happened along the way. And so they heard her story, and when she opened her mouth, she was so proud. That coupled with her story made them send out of Hollywood. Everyone to Hollywood. Because they connected with who she was. They connected with her pain. They connected with her struggle. But they connected with her victory. She was not feeling sorry for herself. She came on American Idol to win. This just happened to be the flight that took me to get here. Our stories are important. But you got to tell your story from your heart and not your head. We talk a lot from our head. When we talk a lot from we're trying to say. But when you talk from your heart, people feel like they're right there with you along your journey. When you listen to people or talk to people, they get the impression that you actually care. And do you know that's all people want to know? Is if you care. Your story. We are meant to be true to life. It is what it is. You made those decisions that got you whatever. Tell the truth. Because not only will sharing your story free you, it will bless somebody else. Telling your story allows people to get to know who you are. Little by little, you were dating. Little by little, you share some stuff, right? And you leave the big stuff to later until they kind of, was feeling you. Then you say, well, by the way, by then you got hooked. Amen, they like you. And so whatever it is that you share with them, because they've already seen who you are, doesn't even matter. Because it's what? It's part of your story, but it's your history. And all you have to do is go forward. When we share our stories, we realize that we have more in common with other people than not. And the truth of the matter is, we all alike. We go through some of the same struggles. We just want to know that we're not going through it by ourselves. This one is good. Do you know that even at your age, you can rewrite your story? If you don't like the way your life is going, change it. Don't let people define who you are. Don't let people determine what you're going to do and where you're going to go. If you don't like your story, rewrite it, change it, make it to who God called you and created you to be. Some of us are living lives that God didn't call or create us to be. We're living defeated lives. That's not who God called us to be. That's not who God made us. We are victorious. If you're not living a victorious life, change. Now, if you get to the end of your life and you chose not to change it, then you live with what you got. I've done a lot of funerals, but only one funeral could I preach the sermon, Life with No Regrets. This guy, he did what he wanted to do, when he wanted to do it, how he wanted to do it, and didn't care what anybody else said, but he loved the Lord. And so by the time he got to the end of his life, he had no regrets. And he'll tell you, I have no regrets. Can any of us say that right now, today, that we are living life with no regrets? And what will they say about us when we close our eyes and take our last breath? Rewrite your story. I want to skip over to the next part because I want us to do one or two exercises. And it's the foundation principles of spiritual autobiography. And you can kind of read what it says and get an idea. But I want to go down to Roman number 4 because this is the whole idea about evangelism and our story. It's the impact of his story and our story. We know the purpose of the good news is about saving souls and making disciples. And his story begins in Genesis and unfolds all the way through Revelation. So his story is about Revelation. Somebody find John 3:16. Well, say it. salvation. Anybody who's out there? Stand up and say it. While somebody's looking at Romans 10, look at Joel 2:32. And then Psalm 23. And then 2 Thessalonians 2:13. And then finally Matthew 46, 25:46. Who has Romans 10:1? God wants us to be saved. It's not a secret. Salvation is a gift from God. But sometimes all of these big theological words, revelation, salvation, deliverance, restoration, sanctification, eternal life, is big to the unchurched. But if we tell our story about how one day God saved us, that makes a difference, and it connects us with somebody else, and connects somebody else with us. Tell your story. How did you get saved? When did you get saved? If you don't know right now, you all know Reverend Schuber's story. Reverend Schuber was saved on my birthday, January 24th. Some people can remember the day, the hour, and the place. Tell your story. It's your story. Joel 2:32. Calling on the name of the Lord, they will be delivered. Anybody in here ever called on the name of the Lord? Even when you didn't mean to, when you hit your foot, oh Lord. But you called on the name of the Lord. When you share your story, you can share with somebody how when you were going through, you called on the name of the Lord and the Lord delivered you. You see, our church folk want to know that what church folk preach and teach about is real. And if they don't believe that it's real, they're not coming into our churches, they're not listening to you. But if you can share your story and let them know how real it is, then you just might have saved a soul. All right, Psalm 23:3. He restores my soul. My sin, sick, wavering, do what I feel like doing, do what I want to do kind of soul. But he restores me and he makes me whole. When I was broken, he restored me. When I was going left and he wanted me to go right, he restored me. When we tell our stories, we got to be courageous. Because sometimes it may mean telling the truth. Telling the truth when we were in sin. Telling the truth when we intentionally sinned. Telling the truth when we weren't so in love with God. Telling the truth, not something that comes from the head, but comes from where? The heart. 2 Thessalonians 2:13. Sanctification is that process that cleans you up. Salvation saves you. Sanctification is that process that we spend the rest of our lives by cleaning us up and taking us to the next level. Somebody asked me changes your mindset. And when you're going through, Mama can't help you. The little Tasha, little bit back down. Listen, I know I'm old. A little amazing grace. When I was in seminary and I thought I would never get through, Richard Smallwood got me through every day until I graduated. Whatever you pour into, that's what you become. But my point is, don't have to always say when somebody's going through and they need you. Tell your story. It will bless them. And it may even free you. Amen. Last one, Matthew 25 and 46.
And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, and the righteous unto life eternal.
Eternal life. How many of you in here looking forward to eternal life? Going to see our daddy one day, face to face. I don't want it to be 2 days, but I do want it to be one day. The whole point of all that what I've shared with you is that those are things that God is promising us in His Word. And if those who are unchurched and unsaved want eternal life, they want to get to heaven too. We keep talking about streets paved with gold. We keep talking about no more crime. We keep talking about all this stuff, and they want to know what it is too. But they got to get there. And you just might be the vessel, the conduit that God uses to get them there. How? Why do you store it? Doesn't cost you anything. You can use it whenever you want to. And every time you tell your story, it empowers you, it encourages you, it equips you to even go higher and becomes a blessing. Evangelism and witnessing is about telling His story. One of the greatest ways to do that is to share your story. Soren Kierkegaard says life can only be understood backwards, meaning in reflection, but it must be lived forward. There's absolutely nothing we can do about yesterday. But you can use yesterday to get you through today and prepare you for tomorrow. Your story. Your story is not like my story. My story is not like yours, and yours is not like the person sitting next to you. Your story is uniquely yours. And the more we share our story, the more we bless. But the more we share our story, the more we heal. Can we be real in here? How many of us need some healing from our stories? And it doesn't mean that something tragic had to happen to you. But all of us in here can stand to get some healing, some deliverance for our souls. And guess what? When you get free, you're going to want to be the conduit to get somebody else free. But one of the things it says is that our story, connected with God's story, is the work of the Holy Spirit. And when God knows that you are working on your story, that you've gotten free from your story, then He doesn't mind using you to help somebody else rewrite their story. One of the things that used to happen in clinical training is that if somebody, let's just say, got divorced, and they were bitter in that divorce, and they never got healed from that divorce, then what do you think is going to happen when somebody is going through? Are they going to be helpful? No, because they're not healed. But when someone heals from some of the things that they have encountered in their lives, and they meet somebody who's going through the same thing, you will be objective and not try to persuade somebody to believe what you believe, but you will listen and you will walk with them through that journey. Sometimes that's all people want. You to walk with them. Sometimes they just want you to listen to their story. And because you are healed and delivered and set free from your story, then you have the power to help somebody else with their story. Amen? Amen. Any thoughts, questions? Anybody? Uh-huh. You got me yet? If they're making time for you or sharing your story, you get to a point in your story where you are embarrassed or ashamed of that part of your story. What it suggests is that you still need healing from that part of your story. And let me tell you what black folks don't do, but I tell you it's the greatest thing that you could do, is go get you some help. Go get some therapy. Talk your story to somebody else. Because a lot of times what we experience in our stories, we're ashamed of, it's been traumatic. We don't want to share with anybody else. And we blame ourselves. How many of you all know people that have been raped or verbally abused, and they blame themselves? A therapist or someone trained will help you realize that the blame is not yours. And so when you get free, when you get healed, then that very part of your story may be the very part of your story that saves somebody else. And then it'll make you whole. Amen? Yes, ma'am. Who are you sharing it with? What I would say to that is that if you have their permission, if you have their permission. Because you're right, they may not know how to tell their story. But if you see their story and you see how they come through their story and it has blessed you and freed them, then if you have their permission, by all means, tell the story. Tell the story. We're not Jesus, but we tell the story, don't we? Anybody else? Yes. Clinical pastoral education. training for those who do institutional chaplaincy, like hospitals, military, that kind of thing. Because the important thing about CPE or training is that as I minister to others, we don't want my stuff on them. And that helps us get to that, along with therapy. Anybody else? I'm telling you, therapy is real. Yes, ma'am. Alcoholism, drug addiction, sex addiction, you name it, is a symptom of a larger problem. So it doesn't matter what you call it. It's some of the same issues of control, abandonment, rejection, etc. And so you can go through that route. I didn't have a drug addiction problem. I was not an alcoholic, but I worked with drug addicts and alcoholics. And the reason that I could was because I understood the underlying issues, but also because I lived with an alcoholic. My dad was an alcoholic, and so I could relate. I didn't always tell the story, but I can always share how it felt and the experiences of what I went through because of that. So sometimes that was what I was saying in the beginning, that there are other stories that help you connect to the underlying issue. The alcoholism, the drug addiction, and all of that is just a symptom to some underlying issues. To find out what the underlying issues are, and when you deal with folk like that, you really have to be guided by the Spirit, so that the Spirit can show you what it is that they're really doing. Folks don't wake up one morning and decide, hey, I'm going to be a drug addict, I'm going to be an alcoholic. No, nobody does that. But something happened that caused them to do that. Well, and the other truth is too that alcoholism skips a generation. So some people say that there's a gene. But also, something traumatic has happened. Listen to their story. And you'll hear more than what they're telling you. Yes, ma'am.
No, what I was going to share is you writing a story you'll find it very painful for me when I said that. I had to rewrite my story. And I think it's what I love. And it's a process of it.
You got such a soft voice.
Oh, you good?
I'm just saying, in the process of rewriting your story, you can find some very painful spots in it that you're not aware of. And in the class, we were told to go back to childhood. And I actually had to go back and look at my childhood. And I did some things about me I didn't know. So I kept explaining to my sister, I said, I have to do a paper. And I can't write the paper because I don't know certain things. But I knew always in my life that a part of me was missing. So in the process of talking to my sibling, I found out that I was a twin, and my twin died before birth. So then my sisters were able to fill in some spots and some places for me. So once I got that part, I was able to move from 3 years on, but prior to that, I couldn't. And it's very, very painful, but because it was a class product, and I like being an A student, I had to do it.
Hopefully you had a teacher that was caring and compassionate. Because when we did pastoral care for Hood, we did what? Genogram. Any students in here? You listen, you look at, you do the family tree, you do the genogram, you go back so that you can see what it is and where it is that you have come from. So that history doesn't have to repeat itself. But it's hard. But it's doable. And it'll bless your soul. Any other questions? Any? All right, I need 2 brave souls. 2 brave souls, and then we'll be out of here. Just 2. Don't be scared. There's 1 brave soul. And he's all brave. Come on. Come on, baby. 2 brave souls. You may not have time to do but 1. But I want you to get in practice of using your story to help somebody. I got 3 pieces of paper with a scenario on it. Who's going to be the preacher, the lay person that's going to help bring salvation? Not you. Okay, this is your mission. All right, come on, help me. Share with us. Family division. So you know a time when we leave church, when we leave God, because they got crazy going on in them. How you know? First of all, I want her to talk about how she feels. I want you to talk to me about how you really feel. But what made you know? Then, I want you to decide which side you're on. There's nothing wrong. But I tell my grandchildren, too long to take it right. And you decide if it's wrong. You need help from me or some other members. I went to my sister's house the other day. And I wanted to borrow something from her. She said to me, "We should bring it back." And I have been hearing that all of my life. I have never borrowed anything and not returned it in a timely fashion. This particular day, I got it. I said, "That's okay. I don't want to borrow it." When did I ever not return something to you? And my sister then tried to tell me that something had been wrong with me. I know something's wrong with you. I know you done lost it now. And ultimately, she escorted me out of her house. I ain't do that. Okay? Well, the first question I want to ask you really told me I said, "Well, I know. She don't have a line with him. I feel like I do. And then the second question I want to ask you, why did I touch you so much? Because I've been hearing that statement most of my adult life. You gotta understand
I got the old 10 children, 5 girls and 5 boys. My mama built a meeting that I've been responsible for all my sisters and brothers. But they do something wrong, I've been responsible. So I'm supposed to get the lead and guide. Okay? I know that I have all my sisters and brothers except one distinction. I'm going to she's the big shoulders. And there's nothing I can tell her that she will listen to because she thinks she knows everything. You know what I do? I just let her go and talk. She got to say, I say, you know what? I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. And I will call. She might say something smart. I just know it. And I keep on doing what I know and I feel is right. And eventually, she is going to come around here because she's doing something wrong. She'll come to me. So you have to think about what you want me. And if you never can, to think about what is on their mind and see that you are a person. That you can listen to her problem without getting angry. Now, stop talking and pay attention. Because obviously, so, the teacher in you came out. The teacher in you came out. And sometimes when people want to hear a word, they don't want to hear the teacher. They don't want to hear which could, would, or should. But that's what you know. And so you were helping her. But what would have helped you? Tell us what would have helped you. If it were for her to pause when she said, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because when you said that, this is for real. I'm going to pick up my phone, and I'm going to say just that to her. Now, the forgiveness part, that's over from the issue that's done. But the communication, the vision is still there. And so, yes, to Paul at that point, I would have really said all that. Or I said it to myself. That's what I need to do. Because I didn't know what to do. But I'm going to make it. But that's what you also needed to hear. That's what you needed to hear. Sometimes when we're doing workshops, like to break souls or teaching, we need to make it real. We can't keep talking at folk without allowing it to become real. And just like Dr. Elwood said, when they do walkthroughs, a walkthrough ain't nothing but a dress rehearsal. Sometimes we need to practice how to talk to folks. We need to practice how to listen. We need to practice 1 or 2 words that will allow us to comfort folks who are going through. But see, the problem with church folks is that we think we know it all. And why in the world would anybody want to be saved if you know it all? We don't know it all. We are hurting. We're in some terrible places. We are struggling, but we are dressed up and we like we wear, there's a book that's out and says we wear the mask. We wear the mask every Sunday. Sometimes you gotta take the mask off. Tell your story. More than help somebody. Amen. That's right. God, we only get one life. And it's up to us, in conjunction with you,
partnership with you, how we live that life. And even if the first 20 and 30 and 40 years weren't like we wanted them to be, it's by your grace, by your power, and by your spirit that we can rewrite our stories. But we first must need to listen to our own stories. Then we can listen to the stories of others. And then we can share our story. So God, I declare and decree in the name of Jesus a supernatural healing for those in here who need healing from their story. Doesn't matter what they have gone through, are going through. We declare healing, restoration. We declare wisdom and knowledge and guidance so that we don't have to be stuck. So that we don't have to be like somebody defined us to be. Some of us have heard you just like your daddy ain't gonna be nothing, he wasn't nothing, you ain't never gonna be nothing, the devil is a liar. So the Bible teaches us that we have become new creatures. We can rewrite our stories. So God, empower all of us to heal from our story, to be restored and made whole, and then go share our story that will help save a dying world. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Wasn't that powerful? That's another wonderful tool push to do the work of evangelism. Telling your story. We thank you much, Doctor. And the beautiful thing about it, we have an outline to go along with it. And what I'm hoping that we can all do, what you're learning here, please do not go and sit on it. Go back to your respective churches, institutions, organizations, and share with them what you are learning here. The biggest problem that we're having is that we come to these places, we learn these wonderful principles, and we go home and do not share them. And so those who are at home are still disconnected from what happened here. So if you would please, take it with you. She gave us a wonderful outline. This business of sharing Jesus Christ is so important. There was a time I used to sympathize with people when they said, we don't need a whole lot of people. 3 or 4, 5, 10 members in our church, we're satisfied. But the Spirit helped me to understand that with 7 billion people, if we continue with 3, 4, 5, when will Jesus come? Here in America, you're talking 300 million people. We've been around since 222 years now. And we still don't have up to 2 million members. Isn't something wrong with that picture? So what we are attempting to do is to turn this barrenness into fruitfulness. A lot of you do not care when you die with children in your womb. I'm talking about spiritual children. That's why being able to tell the story is so important. please don't go stand before the Lord by yourself. If you can see, you have a responsibility to help those who may not see. So please, when you go home, you go back to church, this would be wonderful for the first 2 weeks or so in your Bible studies, your Sunday school, wherever, whenever you have your gathering, to share with them what you learned. Because we all want to grow. Amen? We all want to grow. How many have already completed your spiritual gift inventory? How many have completed it? And did you get the results? Did you get the results? I was sharing with our class that we have to get this thing right. And that's the reason why we are extending it to June. When we come back to the next convocation in June, we want every local church, every district, every conference, every member to have completed their spiritual gift. And the reason is simple. It is out of the gift that God has given to you that you'll be able to serve Him. If not, you're still living out of your flesh. But through your spiritual gift, you'll be living through your spiritual reason for being. I guarantee you, when all of us begin to live through our spiritual being for being, I guarantee you will see some tremendous growth. You'll be able to bring to the Christ through your story. And then, what about the personal ministry plan? How many have completed that? Show of hands. Where is Dr. Wright? Come quickly, Dr. Wright. That would be me. All right. Come quickly, Dr. Wright. Bring the big one. I want you to the action plan. Show of hands. But what did you complete? You completed that? All right. At her church, she shared with me that they completed the personal ministry plan. And so what I wanted her to come to share with us was having reviewed the data to show now what it is that each member was going to be able to do in the ministry. Any pastor there is aware of what a member in the church is going to do throughout the course of this year, how many souls they're going to bring to Christ, what they're going to be given, and how many visitors will make the sick and shut in, how many people will feed, and all of that. Anybody knows that? Yeah, come tell us, what do you know?
This is something that I've done previously before we got here. As the churches go through me from when I was at Mount Zion Chapel, I did what was called a church inventory to find out how they view the church, how they view themselves, even allow them to check and see how I would minister, whether or not I would be there. And so when I found out that they were to one of my Christian education director at my cousin was telling me how many members they want because they found out that they got excited about allowing them to find out what they can do because they want you to find out that members of your church really want to do something if you give them something to do. And so because of that, they have got excited that they want to go because they understand because the director of evangelism is a member of their church. They not because of what she's doing and what I'm trying to do with them. They are excited. So I know my Christian education director for the Western competition. Sister Vera Ashley is excited about this, about what how many members they want to go out because they find out that we want to start at his family church because that down the street from us, they're excited about reaching out to another area. So that's what I found out that they're concerned and excited about.
pastor who used to be here, Bishop Thurston, he's from New York. He moved here to Alabama. He's married to a young lady from Kumasi, Ghana. In Accra, Ghana, in Ghana, West Africa, a young man from New York moved to Alabama, has about 120 churches in West Africa. Who told you all in Zion you're going to do the same? Who told you they're going to stop at that? Years, you come to conference, get your little appointment, go back to your little church. Come to conference, go back to your little church. And the world around you died. And people coming from everywhere, building around your place, gathering the people around your churches. Who told you you couldn't go across the street and start another ministry? Even the two persons, you start with two. Many of you know John Cherry. You know John Cherry? Right here from Alabama. I went to the church where he came out. Started with 5 persons. In my lifetime, he was the first guy that showed me that you can have a mega church of over 12,000 members. And then you go to seminary. And here we are with Dr. this, Dr. that, Dr. that. I want to encourage you. You can have my permission. Go across the street. Start a Bible class. Go to another city. Start a tent crusade. If folk can come from Africa, come to America, do crusade and start churches, what about you right here? All of what you've heard these few hours, if you don't go and put it to practice, you'll never know the words. I want to encourage you. Live people, you can do the same. Let me say this and I turn it over to Dr. I think I told you the story. Go back to the story. Right? When I was working in West Africa, I went to this meeting. That's like a fish, right? Right? All right. So I go to this meeting. And I'm sitting, and here's the guy sitting beside me. All he's wearing is a shirt and a tie. I said, how you doing? He said, fine. I said, who are you? Before he could even explain who he was, I said, excuse me, do you know who I am? I am Bishop Seth Olati of the African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church. I just come from touring all of our churches. We have about 408 churches. I have about 46 residing elders and over 50,000 members. What do you have? And the fellow in his little humility said, well, I'm from the Church of Pentecost. I said, how many members you all have? Because, you know, in my mind, they're from the Church of Pentecost, but you don't have a whole lot. He said, well, in the greater Accra area, we have about 4 million members. I said, go to page 2. Here I am bragging. Liberia, Ghana, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, 50,000 people. And the man is telling me, just in greater Accra, it's almost like saying, you know, well, in the Huntsville area. And when he said that, I said, go to page 2. Because I knew we were not busy about the But then I asked a very silly question that helped me to understand some of what's going on. What do people in the Church of Pentecost do? They do not depend upon just preachers to plant churches. They equip even their lay people so that if you go somewhere where there is not a Church of Pentecost, they teach you how to start a Bible study. And as the Bible study grows, then you call the elder, you call the bishop, to send a pastor. And that's how they spread. Conversely for us, we depend upon the evangelist and the pastor. And you too are supposed to be giving birth to spiritual children. That's why I believe that telling your story is so important. I would love for you all to come back to a conference and say, Bishop, we started a Bible study with some men. My friend who retired, we go fishing. Guess what? We started a Bible study. I want you to come back with some souls. That's what we've done to get back to the day. I asked Sister Karen Bowles to count the number of chairs on the floor. About 401 chairs on the floor. I hope and pray that next year at this time, at least, we'll have 400 plus people sitting here. Because you would have brought some souls back to God. I want to encourage you to get excited about souls. I asked some of you last night, write down some names, put a number, and bring it. How many of you did that? How many did that? I see 2 over there. All right. Being a good teacher, I will give you another chance to bring it tomorrow. Can you do that? Can you do that? Before I turn it over to Dr. McFadden, where's Brother Willie? Will Landon? Where is he? Right here. This is Brother Will Landon. All of you know him. He is a part of us. And he is going to Africa. He's going August 7th to the 17th. And I'm glad about what he's doing because this is how white missionaries do it. When you see white missionaries get up and go to Africa, no one is asking them that they have a budget to go anywhere. They go and raise their own money. And they go. And they see. And they come back. And that's what he's doing. And so he has these envelopes, and then so he should come by. Since you cannot go, you can go through him. Amen? And when he comes back, you can say, I've been to Africa through Willie. Amen?